November 21st, 2025. It's something like 12:45 to 12:55 p.m. So my family has shopped at the Superstore on Confederation Drive since I was a kid. I personally haven't shopped there since 2017, but my mom has still sometimes gone there with family friends. And we used to shop there every month for most of my life. I'm in my 30s, so I'm like 33 years old, and we stopped shopping there when I was in my mid-20s. At least I stopped shopping there. But we started shopping there when I was in kindergarten or pre-kindergarten, preschool. And we used to actually live near there on Pennygrass Road, which I think had to do with why we started shopping there. My mom also used to work at Walmart when it was across the street where Canadian Tire is now. They moved the Walmart from where Canadian Tire is to outside of the city next to where Lowe's was before they renamed Lowe's. And so we had been shopping there every month since I was a kid up until like my mid-20s. And so, when I turned 18, because my mom had banked at RBC my entire life, I opened my first bank account at RBC right outside of that Superstore when, it's a little bit TMI, but when I first opened my first bank account. And so my first bank account was an RBC bank account because my mom had banked there my entire life. And when my cousin John used to live in Saskatoon, which he moved away when I was 12 and he was 13, he used to go shopping with us at Superstore all the time. And sometimes we would go shopping at Superstore with some friends throughout my life. My brother, I don't remember my brother ever going with us, but he likely did at some point. But I do remember that my ex-best friend Catherine, after she had given birth to her daughter before her and I stopped being friends in 2013, that she went shopping with me, my mom, Serene, and her daughter Shay. And her daughter was something like maybe like 4 years old at the time. And so Shay will probably be a teenager in 2025. And she went shopping, Catherine went shopping with us at least one time. And I remember we got either a video or pictures of her swinging her daughter between her legs, playing with her. You couldn't really tell it was in Superstore. All you could see was like the floor tiles. I think they may have replaced those tiles later. I'm not actually certain. I haven't gone there in years, but I know that the Superstore, because there's more than one Superstore in the city, the Superstore on 8th Street has the underground parking, and we rarely went to that Superstore. So basically, for most of my life, like something like 25 years of my life, we always went shopping at Superstore. Sometimes we would go to other stores too. So it's not like it was the only store we ever went to, but our primary grocery store that we went shopping at every month was Superstore. And I remember sometimes I would pay with my debit card each month because of, buying groceries. And it was just easier that way. So I haven't shopped there since 2017, but it was a store that was a huge part of my life for most of my life. And I always went shopping with my mom to help her carry groceries home. She usually drove, so it wasn't like she was walking the entire way home, but it was just something to help out, to basically help to pick out the groceries, to put them in the car, to put them in bags, carry them to the car, and basically bring them out of the car to the house. Is basically just something that I always helped with each month. My brother didn't go with us most of the time, so it was mainly just me and my mom for the most part. And my mom did used to work somewhere close to there, so sometimes we would occasionally see people she used to work with. I think a place she used to work at Fairmont Property, which was, I think, a few blocks away from there. It's a rental property. And so sometimes we'd occasionally see people that she would talk to regularly when she worked there at that Superstore. Maxine, Mike O'Keefe. I don't remember if we saw anybody else. But there was also a Safeway behind Canadian Tire. And it's a Freshco now. And across the street from there was the library with the skating rink. And I'd gone there since I was a kid. I didn't really go there that often, but it's the only skating rink I knew of, so it's the only place to go skating that was indoors. I haven't gone ice skating since I was a kid. I don't even know if they let people do that anymore, but there's also the minor emergency that is close to there and across from the Freshco as well. And that was the minor emergency that I used to go to as a kid whenever I had ear infections, because I used to have some pretty bad ear infections when I was a kid. And then my mom also worked another job, which was also a rental property in the opposite direction of Fairmont Village. So basically, if you are at Freshco and you go towards Superstore, if you turn left, then you can just go straight to Fairmont Village. Well, not straight, you have to turn left twice. You go left, then you go straight, then you have to turn. There's this curved road, so you have to follow the curved road. So you're technically going right, and then you have to go left again, then you're at Fairmont Village. But if you were to go right, then you'd be at another job that my mom used to work, which is another rental property, which was an apartment building. They're both apartment buildings. So my mom worked in the offices of those apartment buildings as the secretary. And so she's worked at places like that. She's worked at a lot of different places. I was born in Saskatoon, so I was raised in this city, and we've lived in this house since I was 6 years old. So there are people I went to elementary school with who could reasonably say that I've lived in this house, although I don't know if those people would want to help me. I don't really think I need their help with that, because I actually have pictures from when I was like a preteen or a teenager that showed that we lived in this house. I actually uploaded a picture of my cat Biddy on my blog that actually shows me taking a picture of her sitting in our front window, and you can actually see the street outside of our house because you can see it through the window, and you can see our old black metal gate, which was only taken down in the last 10 years. And you can see the street outside of our house because it's the same street that I've lived on since I was 6 years old. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say in this video, so